years ago, my husband began the Arthur Ashe Foundation for the Defeat of AIDS to help educate the public about this disease. The foundation has raised over $4 million and has given monies to over 30 organizations. But the work must continue. Let's work together to help make Arthur's dream of defeating AIDS become a reality. Thank you.
Arthur Ashe had a lot of dreams. Some he fulfilled, and some are still a long ways away for others to work on. But what we celebrate today is the spirit of a man who lived his life not in 49 years, but in thousands of days of grace. It is Fun Day at the National Tennis Center, the last day of frivolity before the U.S. Open Wars here. And we're glad you decided to join us in on the fun on a Sunday in New York City. For a good cause as well, the Arthur Ashe Foundation for the Defeat of AIDS. And welcome to the 3rd annual Arthur Ashe AIDS Tennis Challenge, the Stadium Court, the scene of so many battles here at the U.S. Open. And we always battle the weather here. Today it's hot again, 79 degrees, 69% humidity, slight chance of rain, which means it could rain in a minute here at Flushing Meadows, New York. Hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. It's sort of a tradition around here that we celebrate Arthur Ashe the day before the opening of the U.S. Open, an event Arthur won in 1968, celebrating not only a great tennis player, but a man of unparalleled character. And today we're going to see a lot of stars, have a lot of fun, and one of the stars we will see today is a man who won this event in 79, 80, 81, and 84. Has a nice ring to it, John McEnroe. Why do you keep coming back here every year?
Well, Arthur was an inspiration to all players. He's, as I've said before, the greatest ambassador the tennis has ever had, so we need to do a lot more to get even close to his league. And
you and I have this conversation every year during this event, that tennis needs more of this, don't you think?
Absolutely. I think tennis is in a state where some changes could be made, and events like this is something that I think that the players should definitely be doing a lot more of. There's no excuse for it. This is a easy thing to do right now.
You're going to try and beat Andre Agassi again today for the 3rd time. You haven't beat him yet.
Are you sure about that?
Well, you're going to try anyway, right? We'll see
I'll definitely try.
We'll see a little bit later. One of our hosts today, of course, is the incomparable Bill Cosby. And let's go over to the Cos right now. Bill, you're on.
Thank you, Pat. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to officially welcome you to the 3rd annual Arthur Ashe AIDS Tennis Challenge, hosted by the United States Tennis Association. Having known Arthur, I can assure you that his presence is felt. It's 26 years ago when he first won the U.S. Open. Today, our national anthem will be sung by an Atlantic recording.
Tennis Center in Flushing Meadows, New York. We've got a rough and tumble trio of announcers. And let's go up to Tim Ryan. Tim.
Thank you, Pat. Yes, I guess rough is Mary Carrillo and tumble is Tony Trapert. By that description, we're glad to be back doing tennis this fall and ready to start the U.S. Open tomorrow. And this is a battle of the sexes here. We've got the best women's team in the world taking on not the best men's team. There is Natalia Zvereva. Her partner is Gigi Fernandez, and they're going for the Grand Slam this year.
That's right. They've already won the Australian, the French, and the Wimbledon doubles championships. They were in this position last year and didn't make it all the way through, but Gigi Fernandez, I really feel, is one of the most talented of all the women players on the WTA Tour, and her partner's no slouch in that department either. They're both very, very handy around the net. They communicate well, and they're both two of the most interesting and fun-loving characters in women's tennis.
Tony, no quarter will be given on the other side. They're giving away a little age, but no quarter.
You've got a bunch of chauvinists on this side of the net. Ille Nastase, one of the clown princes of tennis. He'll make your afternoon a little lighter, a little more fun. A very, very gifted gentleman. He could really play the game, and you know, he won the French. He won Wimbledon. I'm sorry, he was runner for Wimbledon. Won the U.S. Open. Yannick Noah, his partner, French champion, was the captain of the victorious French Davis Cup team a couple years ago. The first time the French won the Davis Cup in like 52 years. A very charismatic person. It should be a lot of fun.
Great athlete and a fine doubles player in his time. Now let's go down to the chair umpire. We use the term loosely. Bill Cosby.
Hey.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, to my left, dominating women's doubles, they will be looking to sweep the 1994 Grand Slam with a victory here at the U.S. Open. Natalia Zvereva and her partner, a Wimbledon singles finalist this year. What? Semi-finalists who won it all up till the last. Gigi Fernandez.
Really?
And their opponents. They claim 67 doubles titles, which have not been finalized yet. 1972 U.S. Open champion, Ille Nastase. A 1983 French Open champion from Paris, Yannick Noah. They will be playing a standard 12-point tiebreaker. First to 7 points, leading by 2 wins. If the score is tied at 10-all, they will start to play another 12-point tiebreaker on another court. Gigi will serve first. Gigi will serve first, and now. Gigi.
I like an umpire who controls the pace of a match.
All right, no meetings either. This is not baseball, it's over. No meetings.
The new tennis rule here. No meetings on the part of the doubles partners.
And no poaching with a flourish.
It'll be hard to contain Nastase from poaching with a flourish.
Timeout, I saw that.
You know,
Just a minute, just a minute, just a minute.
Yannick Noah.
Ille, do me a favor. Don't wander around the court, man. Get a position and stay there. You're wandering with a flourish.
Finish your thought there, Tony.
Yeah, you think of Yannick Noah, you can't help but think of Arthur Ashe. Arthur discovered Yannick was a youngster down in the Cameroons. Told the French Federation, you got a real talent down there, and they brought him to Paris, and the rest is history. And I know that Yannick is very pleased to be a part of this in memory of Arthur Ashe and to help this wonderful cause.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Just, Just a minute. You have to serve again, please, sir. It was too fast. Yannick, serve again. What was it, 114? Bring it down to about 83. Bring it down to 83 and let her return. All right, here we go.
He brought it down to 79, and he paid the price.
And Ille gives the moon back.
No 83s left. No, you took too much
Look at the
advantage of
return.
that. Go back up to 114, son. Football. 0-2.
Yannick Noah, of course, won the French Open back in '83. The last time a certain player won it.
Miss Harvey serving.
He means Natasha Zvereva, and
That's
she's
you.
pulled out of the singles at
Anything
the U.S. Open
that's
starting tomorrow
four
because she's got
syllables is you.
badly bruised ribs. But, of course, she and Gigi Fernandez are hoping to try to win the U.S. Open dubs. It'd be a terrible pity if she couldn't play.
3-1.
And Zvereva was one that took on the Soviet Tennis Federation. And they said, we're not getting enough of our prize money. I think you're getting 10%. And she really got the door open for all their players. Well, we got one for the replay.
Well, I tell you, he is still capable of that kind of wild play.
Keep your eyes on Nastase, the right-hand side. The racket goes behind his back for an outright winner.
What's the score? Tie? No, it's 3-2. He gets 2 points.
The nice thing is every player on the court is capable of that shot.
3-7-2.
Yes.
2-3. 5-7. Serve the ball. We'll make it up as we go. Please don't moon the people again. Now, serve. That's all you know how to do is moon anymore.
It's Nastase's little boy.
Look at this one.
Gigi worked it pretty good on that point.
2-4. 2-all.
I know. Yannick.
That was some of the old Noah athleticism going up for that one.
They're really four of the more
7-3.
capable ball handlers in the
I don't
sport.
know what the score is. I'm watching the match. What is the score?
3-all.
No, it was 3-all yesterday. What is it now?
We have it
5-2.
5-2.
People in the booth.
It's a tie-break set. Well, Gigi's getting the crowd involved.
Come on, boys!
No, there's no boys out there. All old men. Tried to serve hard, didn't he? Oh, you never miss that shot. I've never seen you miss that shot. That's right. Whitney Reed Jr.
Well, we got a few match points
Oh, yes,
now.
I did. I saw him play on TV. You don't get a chance to come out here that often, you know, because a lot of people, most of the corporate people, bought up all the boxes. What's your problem? You're out of the business anyway. Serve anyway. Public parks. No, wait. This is match point. 6-4.
They told it to
Still,
finish.
yeah, but he can't make all that noise. He frightened the woman back there.
They told it to finish.
Huh? This is it. Match point. 6 serving 4.
More,
6-5.
more tennis.
6 serving 5.
Well, they're booing just getting a ball back from the crowd here, which is, of course, customary. Keep the balls in play, but this is an exhibition, so Gigi Just took the ball right back and handed it to the fan.
Rules restricting the appearances of teenage players directly related to the traumas the teenager faced adjusting to professional life. There are new 14-year-old sensations like Venus Williams and Martina Hingis, while Capriati comes back as a ripe old 18-year-old. Without a previous tourney appearance this year, Capriati is a wild card in this event, taking on 6-seeded Anke Huber, whom she's beaten in all 4 previous meetings. Robin Roberts is in Philadelphia for their most significant get-together.
Gary, within the hour, Jennifer Capriati will take the court here at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. A capacity crowd is expected, which will include many of the players taking part in this week's Slims of Philadelphia. They're also eager to see Capriati's first match in 14 months. The one who has seen her the most on the court is Jose Higueras, who has been coaching Capriati the last month.
Hitting the ball as hard as she did before, I think, you know, she didn't play a match in 14 months, which always a little funny, but she's hitting the ball well. And I think, you know, she may play great tonight or she may not play at her best, but it's just a matter of getting in there and see where she is and then go from there.
Normally, this tournament doesn't receive a lot of attention, but Capriati's return has attracted close to 200 media requests from all across the world. But still, Anke Huber was surprised to find out who her first-round opponent would be.
Well, it's a little bit funny. I didn't even know that she's playing here before I saw the draw. So it's really funny, but I'm looking forward to it. I hope that we are having fun out there and playing a good match.
Capriati is hoping for the same. She'd rather not discuss her troubled past. Instead, she's looking ahead. But a note from her past, she is 4-0 lifetime against Anke Huber. We will have highlights as well as post-match interviews tonight on SportsCenter. Right now, let's go back to the studio and Gary.
Thanks, Robin. As you might have guessed, despite those 200 media requests so far, Capriati is not talking to the media. The match is scheduled to begin at the top of the hour. We hope to have highlights for you by the end of the show, and later we'll hear how Anke Huber feels about being the opposition for Capriati's return. Charlie?
For the first court after a 15-month layoff. The 18-year-old superstar fell on hard personal times in '93 and hasn't played since losing in the U.S. Open. To the majors,
that out today, losing to France's Natalie Toziat. Toziat needs every point she can grab in order to qualify for next week's season-ending Slims Championships. Conchita Martinez was the top seed, but fell 4-4. The fall of Jennifer Capriati was chronicled in bold-faced capital letters. The one-time wonder child went from tennis's elite to the police blotter after spiraling downward in 1993 and getting her mugshot taken in 1994. Tonight, she returns to the court against Anke Huber, who says she's ready for Jenny.
I don't think that I have any pressure. Jennifer was a great player. She was number 5 in the world, and now she came back. Okay, it's her first match. It will be also tough for her, but I don't feel any pressure at all.
The match is supposed to get underway in about 25 minutes. Capriati has fallen into oblivion in the rankings. She was granted a spot in the draw in Philly as a wild card. The Golden Ball is the award.
Capriati is staging a comeback at the ripe old age of 18. Capriati was listed as a wild card entry in the Philly Slims, where she met number 6 seed Anke Huber. A warm ovation for Capriati. She came in wearing an Arthur Ashe Foundation baseball cap in support of age. 4,500 fans on hand. First set tied at 2. Huber gets Capriati out of position, and Huber running Capriati ragged in the early going, and she looked extremely tired. Huber wins the first set 6-4. Second set, Capriati looked a little bit more like her old self. Got the drop shot and then the forehand winner. She won the second set 6-3, and then she really started to tire Huber. The drop shot and the win, 6-4, 3-6, 6-1. This was Capriati's first tournament since the 1993 U.S. Open. So not a bad debut for her. She said she felt a little bit sluggish, but it was still great to be out there. And following the match, she was asked, what did she learn being away from the game?
Well, I learned that I really love this game, and it doesn't matter to me whether I win or lose. I just want to come out and compete again.
Tomorrow on the early Sports Center at 6:30 Eastern, Robin Roberts, who was at tonight's match, will take a closer look at Capriati's return in our cover story. Keith?
If the talk on the tour with the fans or her fellow players, but over the past 20 years, the winningest tennis player in history, man or woman, has become revered and respected like few athletes in history in any sport. But tonight, her singles career could come to an end. In the first match of her final tournament, the Virginia Slims Championship in New York. Navratilova faces Gabriela Sabatini, against whom she's won 15 of their 20 career matches. Robin Roberts tonight, reporting from New York and Madison Square Garden.
Charlie, will Gabriela Sabatini be the answer to a trivia question, much like Zina Garrison, the woman who ended Chris Everett's career? Sabatini says she has mixed emotions about being the possible foil. Regardless of the outcome, Martina Navratilova will be honored like no other tonight, becoming the only non-Nick, non-Ranger to have her name hang from the rafters of Madison Square Garden. The banner will be in place only during tennis events at the Garden. Why this kind of honor for Martina? The people who came up with the idea say, why not?
She's won more titles here than anyone. She's dominated the sport in a way no other player ever has, and for a longer period of time in history than any player.
After 20 years and $20 million in prize money, Martina decided a year ago, right before this tournament in fact, that age 38 would be enough.
Although physically I'm still feeling pretty well. I think I've left my heart on the courts, and my heart basically told me I have 1 year left, and after that it's time to look for some other way to make money and have fun, because I just didn't have that much left anymore. I feel I've done it enough, long enough. I think if I could quit for a couple of years and come back, I probably would, but I don't have that luxury, I don't think. I'm no George Foreman.
And like Foreman, many are hoping for a similar storyline for Navratilova, and her chances for that increase with Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, the tourney's #2 seed, being upset last night by Julia Lard, who Martina will face in the next round if she is victorious tonight. One thing for sure, Charlie, it's going to be an emotional evening here at the Garden. Back to you.
Thanks, Robin. Enjoy it. Yana Novotná has won the first set from Eva Maoli tonight, 6-2. When that match is done, the main event, Martina Navratilova and Gabriela Sabatini, followed by Steffi Graf and Brenda Schultz.
Still ahead, the Buffalo Bills are frustrated.
She considered the best. She's been around a while.
How long? Did you know there are 5 current players who began their careers the same year or before Martina's debut in 1973? They are baseball's Goose Gossard and Dave Winfield, hockey's Mark Howe, Brian Trottier, and Peter Stastny. That's our time for tonight. I'm Gary Miller.
My name is Craig Kilborn. We leave you with more Martina. Enjoy your Sports Wednesday. See you later.
Oh, look at that. Her whole game is flowing.
Place. But first, a legend wraps up her career.
Her first win at Wimbledon came in '78, U.S. citizenship in '81, her revealing autobiography 9 years ago. That all came to a climax Tuesday night for Martina. More than 20 years after a teenage sensation from Prague hit the women's tennis tour, Martina Navratilova is calling it a career at the Slims of New York. No tennis player has won more tournaments, the 167th coming the day after Valentine's in Paris. She made the finals 2 weeks ago in Oakland. But how much longer her career would last depended solely on her success, starting here with Gabriela Sabatini. The largest Tuesday night crowd ever for the Slims in New York, and why not? Who knows what will be the last match for Martina? It would be a great one with Sabatini. Checking out the backhands, the lob, the answers. Martina with a spin, forehand smash. Going back, and she's still got the legs. The lob, Sabatini with a smash, and it put her away. Martina lost the first set 6-4, and the age starting to get to her. Soreness in her left thigh, takes some treatment, and then comes back and goes up 2-0 in the second set. But Sabatini came back strong. 2-all in the second set. Martina on the baseline. Savvy at the net and the passer. Martina hanging in there with her coaches looking on, King and Harden, but now it's double career point. Sabatini serving. Martina's return. It's wide, and that's how it ends. Gabriela Sabatini takes her out 6-4, 6-2. Sabatini wins the 6th and last of her 21 lifetime meetings with Navratilova, but Martina isn't quite through. Robin Roberts was there.
When Martina Navratilova walked out on the court for what would prove to be her final singles match, there was no doubt who the crowd favorite was.
Crowd going nuts. I said to the ball girl, how am I supposed to play after this? You know? Because I never had an ovation like that coming on the court. And so I had to, I had to bring myself back to the task at hand. Get my racket out of my racket bag.
Prior to the match, Martina was concerned about how emotion would play a factor. She wasn't the only one on the court with mixed emotions.
On one side, I didn't want to be the one, to beat her. And on the other side, I was thinking, well, this is a great honor for me to play, to get to play Martina in her last tournament.
After a slow start, Sabatini settled down, and as Martina would later say, blew her opponent off the court with a variety of winners. Sabatini's lobs prevented Navratilova from being as aggressive as she would have liked. Even though she lost the match, Martina's night was far from over. After giving so much to the sport of tennis, it was Martina's turn to receive. She'll be able to stay in the fast lane on this Harley, and will stay in the hearts of tennis fans with this banner, which will hang during all tennis events at the Garden.
For me, it was wonderful because I'm a woman athlete, so for that to happen, it's pretty incredible. I mean, they didn't do that with Ali, and he fought here, and you would have thought that would have been the next logical step, is do a boxer, but here I'm a female tennis player, so it's pretty cool.
Martina left the court saying she'll miss the game, but that she's ready to begin her new life. And after providing tennis fans with more than 2 decades of memories, the greatest woman that ever played the game certainly deserves it. In New York, I'm Robin Roberts, ESPN.
Thanks, Robin. Navratilova finishes with 1,438 singles wins against just 212 losses. 45 of those wins were against Chris Evert, the most of any opponent. Half of her Grand Slam titles came at Wimbledon, but overall, her wins are spread over 9 different countries, accounting for more than $20 million in earnings, something perhaps you did not know about Martina's longevity at the end of the show.
PJ Carlissimo.
To me, Ashe. Welcome to the 4th annual Arthur Ashe AIDS Tennis Challenge. 3 years ago, my husband set into motion a plan to help educate the public about this disease, a plan which has resulted in the creation of the Arthur Ashe Endowment for the Defeat of AIDS. The endowment, affiliated with New York Hospital Cornell Medical Center, will allow us to permanently continue the fight against AIDS by supporting education, training, research, treatment, and clinical trials. We hope you enjoy watching today's tennis, but please remember that over the course of this broadcast, 17 people will die of AIDS. Let us work together to make Arthur's dream of defeating AIDS become a reality. Thank you.
Arthur Ashe was a champion in everything he did. His daughter Camera only heightened his passion for children. His desire to teach them to love the game the way he loved it. To embrace the game the way he did. And to be respected as an athlete and a human being on and off the court. Arthur Ashe was a champion, all right, and each and every day we say thank you. Quite frankly, folks, the city game is basketball, baseball, and football, but this day and for the next 2 weeks here in New York City, this is the city game, tennis. As Arthur Ashe would have wanted it, tennis involving all kinds of kids from all kinds of places. And so we welcome you, one and all, to the National Tennis Center, to the Arthur Ashe AIDS Tennis Challenge, Flushing Meadows, New York. Hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon, a beautiful picture postcard day here in New York City, and really the unofficial opening of the U.S. Open the next 2 weeks here in the Big Apple. A great day of tennis for you this afternoon. 2 hours of past and present U.S. Open champions, including Monica Seles will be here, Martina Navratilova, the defending champion, Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario, and Tracy Austin. Michael Chang, the Jensens will be here, and our partner this year, John McEnroe, is joining us for the 4th year. And John, nice to see you.
Thank you.
How you doing?
It's a lot easier to talk. I'm not looking forward to playing Chang, but the mixed doubles may be okay.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Why do you come here every year and do this for the Arthur Ashe?
Well, really simple. Arthur was the greatest ambassador tennis ever had, and we're just trying to follow in his footsteps in a small way. That's tough shoes to fill, but we're trying.
You find more enthusiasm now, John, amongst younger people in all kinds of places in cities for tennis, for I call it the city game today anyway.
Well, we have a Safe Passage Foundation as well, and Arthur was instrumental, obviously, in going into the minority areas, and I think that's a key, especially for American tennis. Worldwide, give young kids that can't afford it a chance to play.
All right, go warm up. You're playing Martina Navratilova in a little bit in mixed doubles. Thank you, John. We'll see you in a little bit. Also today, our master of ceremonies, a friend of Arthur Ashe's, and a friend of tennis, Bill Cosby. Cos?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
The area, 82 degrees, and the weather forecast, well, if they'd say it this way, they'd say perfect weather for tennis. And let me just say this once. I hope they like it up there because they're there for the next 2 weeks. Mary Carrillo and Tim Ryan. Hello.
Thank you, Pat. Well, you know, despite the weather changing even to the hot, humid stuff we expect during the U.S. Open, this is the place to be for the next 2 weeks, so we'll be here happily. And we're going to show you in this opening match here on our telecast today 4 of the great names in tennis. And an interesting pair of matchups, I'd say, Mary. John McEnroe and Martina Navratilova. And they will join us this year as commentators on our CBS coverage of the U.S. Open. So we welcome them officially here. And there is Martina, who is supposedly retired, but continues to play virtually every week somewhere, including World Team Tennis and various exhibition tournaments, and is still playing darn well.
And though she's not competing in singles at the U.S. Open starting tomorrow, she'll be playing doubles and mixed doubles, and her partner John McEnroe won this thing 4 times, 3 years in a row, in fact, 79, 80, and 81. And for as good a singles player as John was, I think he was an even better doubles player, Tim.
4-time U.S. Open doubles champion and many, many other doubles championships, including one with our own Mary Carrillo and Wimbledon. And Pam Shriver, when we talk about doubles players, with her opponent, her female opponent, Martina Navratilova, one of the great all-time women's teams.
That's really true. They won 20 majors together, which really equals the record